Davin suggested we try an open marriage while he traveled for work, so I immediately agreed. Maverick brought it up during breakfast on a Sunday. What if we open things up, he said, not looking up from his phone. Just while I'm traveling, you'd have your freedom too. I put down my coffee cup carefully. He traveled 3 weeks every month for his consulting job. You already have someone in mind, I said. It wasn't a question. He finally looked at me. Her name's Julie. She works in the Chicago office. My chest felt hollow, but I kept my face neutral. And you want permission to keep seeing her? It's only fair if you get the same option, he said, like he was doing me a favor. I thought about Davin, my colleague who'd been asking me to coffee for months. Sweet, attentive Davin, who actually remembered I existed. Okay, I said. We'll try it. Maverick looked surprised. Really? Really? I'll start this week while you're gone. He smiled and kissed my forehead before grabbing his suitcase. The door closed and I texted Davin. Coffee today? His response came back in 30 seconds. Maverick called me that first night from Chicago. How was your day? He asked, his voice strange. Great. I had coffee with Davin from accounting. We're getting dinner tomorrow. Silence on the other end. Davin, you said I could see other people. I meant eventually, not immediately. I heard a woman's voice in the background. Is that Julie? He hung up. Davin took me to this Italian place Maverick always said was too expensive. He pulled out my chair and actually listened when I talked. When he walked me to my car, he kissed me softly and said, I've wanted to do that for 2 years. I drove home smiling for the first time in months. Maverick came back from his trip early. I was making dinner when he walked in 3 days ahead of schedule. I couldn't focus, he said, knowing you were with him. But you were with Julie. That's different. I turned off the stove. How is it different? He couldn't answer. Over the next month, Maverick kept cutting his trips short. He'd call constantly when he was gone. Always when I was with Davin. Where are you? He'd demand. Having dinner, like we agreed. Meanwhile, Julie started texting him at all hours. I saw the messages when his phone lit up during breakfast. Miss you already at 6 a.m. Can't wait for next week with a winky face. I watched him type back and delete, type and delete. Problems in Chicago? I asked sweetly. His jaw tightened. Davin met me for lunch at work and brought me flowers, just because it was Tuesday. Maverick never brought me flowers. Half the office saw Davin kiss me goodbye in the parking lot. That night, Maverick came home with roses. These are for you, he said stiffly. They were already wilting. Thank you, I said, putting them in water next to the fresh ones from Davin. He stared at both bouquets for a long time. His next trip to Chicago, he called me crying. Julie wants to make it official. She wants me to leave you. My stomach dropped, but I kept my voice steady. What did you tell her? I don't know. I don't know what I want anymore. I hung up and called Davin. He came over that night and held me while I cried. When Maverick got home 2 days later, Davin's car was still in the driveway. Maverick sat in his rental car for 30 minutes before coming inside. He found us making breakfast together, Davin wearing one of Maverick's old shirts I'd given him. The look on Maverick's face told me everything. Maverick dropped his suitcase in the doorway. This needs to stop. Now. I made a mistake. Davin kept scrambling the eggs like nothing was happening. I poured 3 cups of coffee. You can't just decide it's over because you're uncomfortable, I said calmly. Julie's been calling me, Maverick said, his voice breaking. She's pregnant. She wants me to. He stopped when he saw my face. She's pregnant and you want to end this because you're jealous of Davin? Davin set down the spatula. I think I should go. No, I said. Stay. Maverick looked between us. You're choosing him? You chose Julie 4 months ago, before you even asked me about opening the marriage. His face went pale. How did you? You left your laptop open. I saw everything. The hotel reservations, the messages, all of it. Davin and I are together now. You should probably call Julie back. Maverick moved out that weekend. Last I heard, Julie had the baby and he's struggling with 2 lives he never planned for.